Boom, first try. I don't think people are actually gonna eat the kale. Blue cheesy. Dr. Blueberry. Hello friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I am planning to do a beautiful cheese and charcuterie platter for my brother's 30th birthday, which is today. I invite you to come along with me. Let's find inspiration for health, hope, and hospitality. I'm filming from on location at my parents' condo downtown. As you can see, the beautiful view back there. Yeah, let's dive right in. So what I have here is an assortment of vegetables, cheeses, breads, crackers, and even some dried meats. So I'm going to start putting that stuff together on this sort of spread. I have a wooden platter, a metal platter, which has to be covered by something because you can't put the cheese directly on that. And then just some different bowls that I can use for other additional things. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna do the kale leaves. So I have these beautiful purple kale leaves that I'm gonna use as the base on this plate so that the toxins don't get through to our edibles. And I don't think people are actually gonna eat the kale. So I think we're safe putting the kale down. Plus I just love the color that it adds and so much texture. Okay, so we've got the kale in there. Gosh, this is the prettiest kale. We were shopping this morning and some of the kale did not have the rich purple color that this kale does. So that's step number one. Then I'm going to bring out the brie. So today we went with a mini brie, Murray's cheese, and it's super nice. So I'm gonna put that down. Just right on the bed of kale. And we're gonna do a lot of layering later on. So a part of what makes a cheese platter look great is a ton of layering. I got this pear and I love these brown pears. And a little trick that I do is I actually cut the bottom off of it and you can slice that part up and put it in a different part, but that way your pear doesn't roll around and look awkward and kind of lanky and weird. So that way you can get the nice look without it rolling away. I also have some grapes that are purple, so I'll start by putting those out in a little grape pile. Another important thing for a cheese platter is jams and spreads. This is actually a caramelized onion spread that I'm going to use later on, but I wanted to share that with you from the beginning. Breadsticks, I love using breadsticks in different parts of a flat lay. I do call these platters flat lays as well, and I love going over the line of the plate. So kind of break the line, break up that edge and just expand out because that makes it look a little more whimsical. Next up, I've got some berries, and you may have noticed that I have these different bowls that I already had in the mix, and some of those berries I'll put in the bowl and then other ones I'll just spread throughout the platter. I don't have to put anything on the wooden platter because I actually did wipe that down with a non-toxic edible. It's like an orange treatment that cleans it and finishes and seals it. Okay, let's see, what will I do next? The bread. Okay, let's start with some more bread. I did buy a fresh baguette and went ahead and sliced it all up ahead of time. It's just a lot easier to be creative and to focus on making it look pretty and kind of have fun with it when your stuff's already cut up. I also cut up our figs, the pears, some of the cheese. I did slice some of the cheese already, but then obviously people will want to slice their own cheese while they're enjoying the cheese platter. I do have this loaf, the other side of that baguette, so I'll put that over here. This one's probably okay to be more decorative, And I did a torn edge rather than a clean cut edge to just give it that rustic feel. Oh, I got delicious feta, Kalamata olives, and other spiced green olives. So good. And I'm just gonna pour that straight in. So our olive bar at our local grocery store has fantastic options, and I definitely recommend save yourself some time and just grab the pre-made mixture because it's so good and the quality is great. Now for some color. So we do have the deep purples going on, but I wanted to add some orange as well with these apricots. And apricots are just one of my favorites. I love apricots. And I do like to kind of pair them with the brie as well. And you can feel free to layer stuff on top of each other. There's no rule against mixing things in. So the bread pile and the apricot pile are gonna become one. There's nothing wrong with that. And then eventually I'll add some extra little greenery to this section to really fill it out. Add some up here. Apricots, so good. If you were not watching right now, I would be eating this apricot, but I'll behave. Okay, next up we have some other cheeses. This is a really cool little cheese that is blueberry around goat cheese. So that's really nice. I think I'm gonna do kind of a look where it spreads out from the middle. So I just realized something terrible. Part of the stuff that I have to put out here needs to be refrigerated until 3 or 4 hours from now when our guests come over. Most of it doesn't, like a lot of the cheeses will be fine sitting out for a bit, but this plate, the wooden part, can fit in the fridge. So that means I have to move all my breads and my dried fruit over. So I'm gonna just have to transition it. This kind of stuff always happens. And don't be scared to move stuff around. It's okay. It doesn't have to stay where you originally put it. I find that I can be a lot more creative if I can kind of just go with the flow of what's happening. So I'm spreading this stuff out a little bit. That way I have room on the smaller platter for my refrigerator foods. Now I'm gonna start bringing more cheeses. So this is kind of a gross one. It's a blue cheese. It smells very blue cheesy. Oh yes, of course, pomegranate. I love the look of a pomegranate on a cheese platter. What you can do with a pomegranate to get some of that extra great red berry look is just peel off some of the layers between the houses. So yes, that's what I call it. I call them houses. There we go, see? And then that reveals some of that really nice red fruit in there. You just need to be really careful because you don't want to crush the seeds in here. Ooh, sprayed myself. I actually took some pomegranate and prepared it this way so that I can sprinkle it over some of the other cheeses that are nice. Oh, and one thing I do want to do too is I want to cut the brie a little bit ahead of time. It's always good to cut the cheeses prior to your guests coming over because sometimes people are just too shy or they don't know what to do and then they don't feel comfortable diving in and being the first one to cut the cheese. I do like to get people started on that. I think that's helpful. Berries are out. We need some nuts, some more breads. These little artisan breads I think are so great. I just love the look. They're hazelnut and cranberry and they're delicious. And I try to keep it looking not too neat and orderly because I think it just looks so much more inviting if it's, you know, everything's everywhere, just grab something that looks good to you. Okay, so that's good there. You can also help people pick their pairings by putting things next to what they'll be good with. So putting these olives on this loaf will be so delicious. So that's something to just also keep in mind. Oh, as I was saying, I do want to keep the prosciutto on the fridge plate. I'm gonna roll these up a little bit and you can create really nice little curvy patterns like that. And then you kind of wedge it between the cheeses. It doesn't have to stand on its own and it just fills in the little in-between space. So you just fold the circle in half and then fold it again and careful not to crunch the corners or the edges there, the folded edges. Escaping breadsticks, no. Okay, there we go. And you can put these throughout, so you don't just have to put them in one spot. I think that's just in general, as you're doing a platter, you don't have to separate things into their own neat little spot. It's fine if things overlap and they're in different spots. You're actually supposed to serve prosciutto with melon, if you didn't know that, but I don't have melon today, so we're gonna serve them with apricots and figs and pears, which to me is a little bit more fitting for fall. I might use these later, we'll see. Sometimes you just have to give yourself a chance, regroup, figure out what you're looking at, and then you can start again. Oh, here's another little trick I did. So I cut a wedge out of a pear, then flattened the back, just like I was talking about earlier. And then you can put this pear anywhere and it looks so nice. It won't roll away, but it's already kind of cut and prepared. And then here are the other pear slices that you can put next to it or somewhere else on the platter if you'd like. I'm gonna choose to put mine over here, kind of hanging over the edge as much as possible without letting them tumble. Once again, not too neat, kind of bringing the colors and the textures in from all over the place. And then this little slice of pear I can put over here. I might just eat it, we'll see. Now you might be saying, why don't you have more cheeses on the platter? And you're making a great point. I totally agree with you. Where is the cheese? So far we only have 3 different cheeses, and that's just, well, I guess we have 4. Not enough for a decent cheese platter. I did get some pre-cubed pepper jack just as a filler, and I love the kind of cube texture look, so toss a little bit of that in a pile. No, blue cheese fingers. Okay, what are we looking at now? I don't have any nuts yet. I don't have my jams positioned yet. I am gonna put this caramelized onion jam right here, and I will open that before the guests come. The other one that I have is a fig spread, which is delicious with blue cheese, delicious with brie. So I'm gonna put this one on this plate. I need to support this little bowl better. More kale. The answer is always more kale. Okay, there we go. I kind of crunch around the stem of the kale so that it doesn't pop up and push your stuff into the middle. And then the long stem I'm gonna break off and throw it to the side. Do I want to put cheese there, or do I want to put meat there? This cannot be refrigerated, so my options are limited. I can put some nuts there. I can put dried fruit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this cranberry cheese, which has a purple wax on it, which is great, and it does not need to be refrigerated because it'll easily last. So it ties into the purple leaves and everything. No, wait, oh, I completely changed my mind. The bread, I'm putting the bread there. Bread definitely doesn't need to be refrigerated. And then I can put this cheese up here to tie in the purple on the top. Should I lay it? It's gonna be up here. I think it'll be like this. We'll bring some of these nice little toasties in there. Just a small pile, nothing too major. And then as well on this top part, I will do the rolled up. We have prosciutto with rolled mozzarella. Well, I'm just gonna do a little stack of them. With any of my platters, I love to get some height, so I like to stack things and bring them out. Set it up in an unexpected way. You don't have to continue with your pattern. You can do one off to the side like that, or you can really decide. These ones I think will be really nice and easy grabs for people, so I'm gonna put some on this platter as well. Another thing to keep in mind is you can apply a lot of your great photography principles and interior decor principles when you're doing a platter. So keeping in mind that you don't want to do even numbers, you'd rather do odd numbers. So instead of just leaving 2 little ones, I will put 3 so that it's odd numbered. is a better design feel. It keeps it more balanced. With my pear over here, I'm gonna add some blueberries in this bowl. It's okay if some fall out throughout, and I may actually just go ahead and sprinkle blueberries anywhere on the platter. They add a little pop of color, they just are fun, and they're a quick grab that people love to enjoy. Oh, you know what? Watch this. Are you ready? Boom, first try. Dude, perfect. Okay, so grape leaves, stuffed grape leaves, really, really good. I decided that I'm gonna take these blackberries out of my wooden bowl, and I'm going to put my stuffed grape leaves in there. So it's a Middle Eastern delicacy. It's got rice, some sort of vinegar, spices, I don't know what else. Very good though. And I'll stack some of these in my wooden bowl. And it's okay if it's not full, just make it kind of hang over the edge. It is a nice feel when things are kind of overflowing. So that's the look that we're going for. Here I have another pomegranate that I just want to put around to get more color. You can really add it anywhere. Try to find a way to make sure things are not clumped with things that are the exact same shape. Like I have the stripes here going, and then the circles and the kind of clumpy berries, and well, now I do have the clumpy berries, the clumpy pomegranate, and the clumpy cheese. So I may consider switching that out. And I do want to prop them up so that they don't tumble over. So I'm going to use dates to prop these boys up. Whenever my daughter says bad boys, like, oh, let me get a couple of those bad boys or something like that, she says bad babies. Like, let me have some of those bad babies. I think that's super funny. All right, is that starting to look like a platter? What do you think? I do think so. Yes, thank you for asking. I think it looks great. I will add more of these Italian breadsticks because they're so yummy. They go very, very quickly. And you can stick them anywhere where you feel like you need a little more pizzazz. So, like I said before, try to take some and break that edge of your platter. And then nuts. Nuts are great. Pour some nuts around anywhere that you find an empty hole. It's okay if they spill over a little bit. You can actually go over and onto your space. I don't have that choice today because we do have a caterer coming in for some of the other like official food. This is the unofficial food. And I need to leave some space for them. So mine has to stay on the platters. But it's kind of fun if you don't have to stay on the platters and you can, you know, pile things around. Finishing touches. So I am gonna do some greenery around for finishing touches. And I also bought these sprigs of thyme that just add really nice herby flavor. Some people love to eat it. It smells amazing. And it gives that natural feel. So you feel like you're really in Italy with the Tuscan herbs. So I stick those around, and that is more or less it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me style a platter. I would love to hear what your favorite ingredient is on this platter if you want to comment below. And be sure to subscribe and check out the Instagram for more close-up photos.